I sat frozen in my corner office on the 22nd floor of Harrington Law Firm in downtown Philadelphia, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows across my desk. The email from my colleague Mark simply read, "Elena, I'm so sorry for your loss. Your mother told us about the accident on I-95. We're all thinking of you. My name is Elena Grace Thompson. I was very much alive, breathing, sipping lukewarm coffee, staring at words that declared me dead. At first I laughed, a short, sharp sound that echoed in the empty room. Then the realization hit like cold water. This wasn't a joke. My mother, Vivian Thompson, had told everyone I died 3 weeks ago. The messages started pouring in, LinkedIn condolences, texts from old friends, even a voicemail from her bridge club friends sobbing about how she'd always thought of me as family. 29 messages by the end of the hour. My hands shook as I scrolled. I could have called her immediately, screamed, demanded answers. But I knew Vivian too well. She'd twist it, play the victim, claim some misunderstanding, while soaking up every drop of sympathy. No. This time I stayed silent. I locked my door and started digging. Within hours, I found the GoFundMe page titled, "Help Vivian Through the Loss of Her Only Daughter." It had already raised nearly $1,400. Her Facebook post was a masterpiece of fiction, childhood photos of us that never happened the way she described. Stories of our unbreakable bond, how I'd always been her rock after my father passed. And then the invitation that made my stomach drop, a digital card with balloons and elegant script announcing her 67th birthday celebration combined with an evening of remembrance and closure for our beloved Elena. Taken too soon. The party was 2 weeks away. 38 guests confirmed. Location, Riverside Country Club. Dress code, elegant black and white. In lieu of gifts, donations accepted to help her through this unimaginable grief. I leaned back in my leather chair, heart pounding. This wasn't just attention-seeking. She had erased me, written me out of existence, to play the tragic widow and grieving mother one more time, collecting money along the way. Growing up with Vivian meant love was always a performance, and I was forever the understudy who disappointed the audience. My earliest clear memory is my 8th birthday. She'd thrown a lavish garden party with pony rides and a professional cake. Not for me, but to impress the neighbors. When I spilled punch on my dress and cried, she gripped my arm hard enough to bruise and whispered fiercely, "Stop embarrassing me in front of everyone." Good girls smile through it. That set the pattern. Every school play, every science fair, every report card became her stage. Straight A's meant I could have done better. A single B proved I was scattered and lacked focus. After my father's sudden heart attack, when I was 12, she hardened. The funeral became her showcase, designer black dress, graceful tears. A eulogy that painted her as the devoted wife left to raise a difficult daughter alone. I became her emotional ATM. College on scholarship? She told friends it was full ride and kept my summer job savings. Law school graduation? She spent the dinner explaining how she'd pushed me, despite my mediocrity. Once I started earning at the firm, the requests escalated. Mortgage help, car repairs, just getting by after losing her father. Over 15 years, I gave her more than $220,000. Cruises, designer handbags, maintaining her image as the resilient widow. The breaking point came 18 months ago at a firm gala. I'd invited her to celebrate my promotion to senior legal advisor. She arrived tipsy, in a dress better suited for a nightclub, and within minutes was telling my managing partner how she'd practically written my law school essays and that I'd always needed extra help because I lacked natural talent. When she launched into her favorite fabricated story about finding me at 17 with a pregnancy test, I finally snapped. "That's enough. Mother." The room went quiet. She smiled that dangerous smile. The next day, I blocked her everywhere. Changed my number. Told security at my Rittenhouse Square condo not to let her up. 6 months of peace. Better sleep. Better work. Even dating again. Then she killed me. I spent 3 days in radio silence while the world mourned a living woman. My assistant nearly dropped her coffee when she saw me Thursday morning. I'm handling misinformation from my mother, I said calmly. By Friday, I had a plan. If Vivian wanted a memorial, I would deliver one she'd never forget. The photograph arrived late Wednesday night from one of Vivian's old friends who hadn't heard the news. The invitation showed soft-focus graduation photos of me, angelic and tragic, with text celebrating Vivian's 67th birthday and honoring the memory of Elena Grace Thompson. In lieu of gifts, donations to support Vivian in her time of need. Below, white roses requested because they were Elena's favorites. They weren't. I loved peonies. I poured wine and kept investigating. The narrative she'd spun was detailed enough to sound real. A rainy night. Drunk driver who fled. My car spinning off I-95, but vague on verifiable facts. The GoFundMe comments were heartbreaking. No mother should bury her child. Staying strong for you. Viv. Her memorial Facebook group had 158 members. Daily posts with invented memories. Quotes about mother-daughter love we never shared. I called a few invitees pretending to be a party coordinator. Each conversation painted the full picture, donation envelopes at the entrance, a memory book for guests to sign, a slideshow set to mournful music, and Vivian telling people she planned to sell my condo to fund a scholarship in my name, my condo she had no claim to. The audacity took my breath away. She wasn't just lying, she was monetizing my erasure, turning it into theater with herself as the star. Monday morning I sat across from Marcus Hale, a sharp litigation attorney known for ruthless defamation cases. He reviewed my screenshots, the GoFundMe, invitation, and posts. Elena, this is textbook fraud, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Clear cut. The question is how hard you want to hit back. I don't want money. I want witnesses. I want her to face the truth in front of everyone who matters to her. No escape. No spin. Marcus's smile grew as I explained. Arrive late with legal representation and a paralegal recording everything. Announce the recording for consent. Read a prepared statement. Document the setup. Notify donors of restitution rights. Present my updated will, leaving everything to the Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. Nothing for her. We spent hours crafting documents. Cease and desist. Fraud notices. Notarized will copy. Pennsylvania's two-party consent was handled by announcing the recording up front. Rebecca, Marcus's paralegal, would capture photos and video. We estimated she'd collected close to $5,000 already. Why not just let police handle fraud? Marcus asked. Because she spent my life crafting fictions where she's the hero and I'm the failure. This time she faces reality publicly. Humiliation first, then legal consequences. We scheduled the final prep. I spent the week preparing. New black dress, elegant. Not funereal, hairstyled. Statement memorized until emotionless. I contacted her landlord and club president quietly to ensure word spread fast. By Friday night, everything was ready. The invitation sat on my coffee table. Tomorrow, I whispered to the city lights. Vivian gets closure, just not the kind she planned. Saturday evening at 7:25 p.m. We arrived at Riverside Country Club. Through the glass doors, I saw white roses everywhere. A shrine-like display. The banner reading celebrating 67 years of Vivian and remembering our angel, Elena. The slideshow played family photos with my father cropped out. Vivian held court in a black cocktail dress with pearl brooch. mascara artfully smudged, voice trembling with practiced grief. "She's good," Rebecca whispered. "Camera ready." Pure theater. The room was packed. Book club friends, church ladies, neighbors, distant relatives. Donation box by the entrance. Memory book half filled. I smoothed my dress. Marcus nodded. Rebecca powered the camera. The moment came when Vivian raised her glass in the center of the room. "Thank you for coming. Today should have been joyful. My birthday. But how can I celebrate when my precious Elena was taken so suddenly?" I pushed open the doors. Heels clicked on marble. The room froze. Champagne glasses paused midair. Heads turned. Vivian's glass slipped and shattered. "Hello, Mother," I said clearly. "I hear you've been planning my funeral." A scream pierced the silence, Vivian's church friend Dorothy clutching her chest. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Vivian's face cycled through shock, fear, rage, landing on forced joy. Elena, but the accident. There was no accident. No drunk driver. No rainy night. Just your lies. Chairs scraped. Voices rose in confusion. Cousin Harold bellowed. "What the hell is going on?" Vivian gripped a table. Mask cracking. I stepped forward, flanked by Marcus and Rebecca. The camera captured the memorial photos. Donation box. Banner proclaiming my death. And every guest's dawning realization. My name is Elena Grace Thompson. I am alive. My mother, Vivian Thompson, has deliberately spread false information about my death for financial gain and attention. Over the past weeks, she collected thousands through fraud, including this event. Vivian stammered. "This is ridiculous. She's having an episode." Mental illness from her father's side. Marcus stepped in smoothly. "I'm Marcus Hale. Yes. Thompson's attorney. She is of sound mind. We are documenting this fraudulent gathering. Legal action will be pursued for defamation, fraud, and emotional distress." Rebecca moved through the crowd, filming the setup. Guests shrank back. "Anyone who donated based on the false claim of my death is entitled to full restitution. Mr. Hale's office will assist with charge reversals." The tide turned. Anger replaced sympathy. "I gave $800. Robert the neighbor shouted. "You cried on my shoulder about burial costs. My wife emptied our vacation fund." Another guest. $500 because we thought you lost your daughter." Vivian spun, pleading. "You don't understand." She cut me off. It was like she was dead to me. "So you made it literal?" Dorothy stood, voice shaking with rage. "I prayed for her recovery. I mourned a living woman for your attention. I raised the notarized will. She also claimed she was my sole beneficiary." False. "Everything goes to Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. She gets nothing." Vivian lunged toward me, but friends held her back. Ellen, her oldest friend, voice ice cold. "Is this true? You told us she was dead." We grieved. We gave money. The room erupted in accusations. Someone knocked over the flower arrangement. Checks and cash spilled from the donation box. Rebecca announced clearly, "This event is being recorded for legal purposes. Remaining constitutes consent." No one left. They wanted to witness the end. Marcus presented the cease and desist. Return all funds within 30 days or face immediate litigation. No further false statements. Vivian's makeup ran with real tears now. Humiliation. Not grief. "You can't do this. I'm your mother." "No. You're the stranger who gave birth to me and threw a funeral for her living daughter to profit off her friends." Guests began filing out. Disgusted looks. Some demanding refunds immediately. The birthday cake sat untouched. Champagne warm and forgotten. The celebration of life had died. I turned to leave, heels clicking with finality. Vivian stumbled after me through overturned chairs. This is what you wanted? To destroy me? You were always vindictive. Marcus warned her anything said could be used against her. In the entrance hall, lingering guests intercepted me. Ellen touched my arm. I'm so sorry. She was convincing. We should have checked. You believed a grieving mother. That's human. Creating one where none existed. That's unforgivable. Robert pulled out his phone. Calling my bank tomorrow. $800 for a funeral that never needed to happen. The GoFundMe is still up, over $3,200 now. Marcus handed out cards. We'll handle refunds and reports. More stories surfaced as people left. Vivian's past lies. Fabricated illnesses. Credit stolen for others' achievements. The Southside Neighborhood Association would later discover she'd skimmed event funds for years. Her landlord would evict her, citing reputational damage. Behind us, Vivian shrieked at the remaining cluster. You're all hypocrites. Happy to eat my food. Now you turn on me. The only liar, Robert said loudly, is the woman who planned a memorial for her living daughter. I paused at the threshold. The February night air was crisp. Sharp contrast to the suffocating fake grief inside. Vivian stood in the wreckage, scattered chairs, abandoned flutes, toppled flowers. You'll regret this, she called. When I'm gone, you'll regret not having a mother who loved you. I turned, meeting her eyes. The only thing I regret is the 38 years I believed you were capable of love. Rebecca captured Vivian's raw, defeated expression as the mask fully slipped. We walked out into the night with Marcus and Rebecca. The remaining guests followed in small groups, voices carrying promises to spread the word. Inside, Vivian's screams echoed. She's dead to me. Do you hear me? Dead. The irony hung heavy. The video surfaced within 48 hours. Someone's phone recording of the confrontation went viral. Woman fakes daughter's death for money, trended. Local news picked it up by Tuesday, then national by midweek. Vivian became the poster child for narcissistic parental fraud. The GoFundMe was frozen, investigated, and refunded with platform apologies. Her church distanced itself. The country club revoked membership. The book club she founded expelled her by unanimous letter. Even her hairdresser canceled appointments. Screenshots of past manipulations flooded social media, exaggerated stories, stolen credit, small deceptions over decades. The Neighborhood Association published findings about skimmed funds. Her landlord issued 60-day eviction notice. 3 weeks later, Marcus called. She's agreed to settle. Full restitution to all donors. Formal written apology published in the local paper. Permanent agreement never to mention your name publicly again. In exchange, no criminal charges. No charges, I asked. The DA sees public humiliation and financial ruin as sufficient given her age and no priors. Prosecuting might generate unwanted sympathy. She's already a meme. A cautionary tale. Don't pull a Vivian. He was right. Her face appeared in videos about narcissism. Reddit threads dissected her behavior. The fame she craved arrived, but as infamy. The settlement meeting was our final encounter. She arrived alone in a simple gray suit, looking a decade older. Frame thinner. Eyes defeated. No audience left to perform for. She signed without speaking, hand trembling. When she looked up, I expected rage or manipulation. Instead, I saw defeat. I only wanted them to care about me, she whispered. They did care, I replied. That's why they're so angry. You weaponized their compassion. She left without another word. I heard later she moved to a small apartment 2 towns away, where no one knew her story. The grand life built on lies collapsed into isolation and a reputation that would follow forever. I returned to my real life at Harrington Law Firm. Colleagues, initially stunned, rallied with genuine support. The firm gave me a raise. Impressed by the professional handling, I started therapy to unpack decades of manipulation. Dating again, slowly rebuilding trust. Sometimes I search her name. Results remain brutal: articles, videos, discussions about the mother who faked her daughter's death. Digital immortality of the worst kind. She achieved what she always wanted. Everyone knows Vivian Thompson's name. They'll remember her forever as the woman who loved attention more than her own child. The mother who killed her daughter in fiction because she couldn't control her in reality. In the end, she was right about one thing. I am dead to her. But it was her lies, not my absence, that dug the grave. The question that lingers is this: how many relationships survive when love becomes a performance? When truth is sacrificed for applause? When compassion is turned into currency? Vivian chose the spotlight over her daughter. In the wreckage of that choice, I finally chose myself.